Let's sleaze, Fram.
Oh, wow. This was unbelievable. The big tech and the online child sexual exploitation crisis. Senate Judiciary Committee hearing calling out and grilling Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, that was intense.
Mr. Zuckerberg, you and the companies before us, I know you don't mean it to be so, but you have blood on your hands. You have a product. You have a product that's killing people.
Of course, we're talking about, Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah.
And Zuckerberg actually apologized. I'm sorry for everything you've all gone through. It's terrible. No one should have to go through the things that your families have suffered. This didn't end there.
There's families of victims here today. Have you apologized to the victims? Would you like to do so now?
Well,
they're here. You're on national television. Would you like now to apologize to the victims who have been harmed by your product? Show them the pictures.
I know you don't have a lot of time right now, but later I want to get into that. Just after 8, I want to play a long chunk of massively uncomfortable moments.
People actually hissed because there were families there. They hissed when he walked into the room.
Yeah, it's woo.
And when he left, they were yelling at him.
Yeah, it's tough for Bro to walk off of his yacht and come in and get grilled about how his, services are killing people. And seeing the people hold the pictures up of their children right behind him, that's some intense stuff.
The Grammys are Sunday night. I cannot wait. Some big news that dropped. Tracy Chapman is going to perform her massive hit, Fast Car, with Luke Combs, because he had a massive hit with it. It was one of his all-time favorite songs growing up, and a lot of people were wondering, will they ever perform together? Well, they are. She said, I never expected to find myself on the country charts, but I'm honored to be there.
Oh, she's got about 5 million reasons to be honored.
Think about it. And it's actually history, Barnes, because when his song went number 1, she became the first black woman to have a number 1 song as a writer on the country charts.
It's pretty impressive. Is she a recluse? Because you don't see anything about her.
You don't see her, and so I'm thrilled that she's going to show up and do this.
I'm surprised. That should be cool.
This was really funny. Gwen Stefani had to explain who No Doubt was to her 9-year-old son, Apollo.
Truth.
I guess when they announced Coachella, he's like, I had to literally lay in bed with Apollo, and he's like, but Mom, what is Coachella? Everyone's saying, what is it? It sounds like it's a big deal. Well, she had to explain. So we had to watch the No Doubt video, and he's like, but wait, which one was your boyfriend? Remember Tony?
Uncomfortable.
She said it was so weird and so funny. I literally had to tell him each band member. I mean, he's 9, so of course he wouldn't know about No Doubt.
But what a world he lives in. His dad is Gavin Rossdale. His mom used to date this other rock star in No Doubt. And now his mom is married to Blake Shelton, who's a huge country star. Like, it's just a normal life, son.
What world is he living in?
It's just a normal life.
Adam Sandler is set to receive the People's Icon Award at the 2024 People's Choice Awards. The 6th person to get this so far, it's been Melissa McCarthy, Jennifer Aniston, Jennifer Lopez, Halle Berry, Ryan Reynolds. That is coming up, the People's Choice Awards live February 18th, 8 p.m. Eastern on NBC Peacock and E!
Does anyone ever watch that?
I watch every single award show, you know that.
Okay. That seems like one that should barely make it to TV. Kind of like our show should barely make it to radio. Like, that seems like the version of our show that no one watches.
I think because it's a lot of celebrities show up, because it's the people's choice, Barnes.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The fans. Okay, I asked you to watch this series, and I don't know if you ever did, on Apple TV, Hijack, with Idris Elba.
It's on my list, but Love on the Spectrum's not done yet, so I'll get to it.
I binged it, and I was hoping for this news. Guess what? They have ordered a 2nd season. He's also the executive producer. It's become one of the top dramas on the streamer. Quote, I was floored by the overwhelming response from the audience on season 1. It's top secret what new situation unfolds.
Okay.
Idris Elba, Hijack on Apple TV.
All right. I'm seriously writing it down because as soon as I wrap up Love on the Spectrum, Love is Blind, the new season is about to start, and then I'll get to that.
You will love it. And another Idris news, he is the latest celeb to debut in a Calvin Klein ad, but not like Jeremy Allen's recent collab in his undies. No, this is going to be sort of the classic look, like the classic trench coat and the seersucker full zipped shirt jacket. the bomber jacket. He's kind of a classic dude. I always thought he would be a great James Bond.
I was just going to say that.
I mean,
he
come
should
on.
be Bond.
Why is he not? Got some Talking Heads news. This is fascinating. You remember when David Byrne, Jerry Harrison, Chris Frantz, and Tina Weymouth reunited?
Yes.
Remember, for the first time in 20 years at the
Recent,
Toronto
yeah.
International Film Festival, they screened Stop Making Sense. Now we're starting to learn about some behind the scenes with promoters. Apparently, one of the news is that Live Nation and Coachella tried to book them. Paul Toulette flew to Toronto. He's with Golden Voice. He flew there thinking maybe I can talk to the bands, but he said the vibe wasn't there. He knew that it wasn't going to happen. So he just decided to kind of let it go. But then Live Nation offered the band, are you ready for this? $80 million
Wow.
to headline 6 to 8 festival gigs and headlining slots. They rejected the offer.
Go back on our podcast and listen to when Chris was on with us. And I mean, he holds no punches back and just throws down on the leader of the band. And I mean, he even, I think, gave out his email address at one point in it. It's in our podcast, and he just unloads on him.
It's interesting. I thought maybe they would do like one Coachella because No Doubt is doing that. If that funny story we talked about earlier, Gwen Stefani had to explain to her 9-year-old son who No Doubt was. But now people are saying, is this it? Is it just going to be Coachella? Looks like that's it because she's doing a solo record. Because a lot of people were hoping there would be like this No Doubt tour, reunion, whatever. No, not going to happen.
Some of these bands, but you just wait. You wait for it, maybe. Like David Byrne, though, it's all about David Byrne. If David Byrne decides it's going to happen,
yes,
then everyone else will do it. He'll get $70 million, and they'll all get $2.5 million, and call it a day. I mean, he runs the show.
Remember we were talking about all of these actresses that are on these dating apps?
Yes.
Sharon Stone, as herself, Drew Barrymore. Now we've got Terry Hatcher.
What's wrong with all these? These are beautiful, smart, famous,
Where are their friends? Well, she was kicked off a dating app because they thought she was an imposter. She thought it was a hoax. She was talking about this on Getting Grilled with Curtis Stone. That she was booted off a dating app, Hinge. They thought she wasn't really Terry Hatcher. Here's what she had to say.
They apologized, and then I was like, I'm sort of over it. So now I'm over it. I'm definitely done with the dating apps, and I feel like if there's any way I'll go somewhere and meet someone, that's what it's going to have to be.
Remember all the stories 3 or 4 years ago during the pandemic where these famous guy actors also were getting on these like specialty celebrity dating apps and getting people were starting to record their screens and stuff. And
it was, yes.
Yeah.
That wasn't good.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah. If you are a fan of The Handmaid's Tale, Elizabeth Moss was just on with Kimmel. She said that fans of The Handmaid's Tale love to scream lines from the show at her in public.
Their favorite thing to do is to say lines from the show and usually yelled at you from the street.
Great.
Or from a passing car. Praise be.
Nice. That's not too bad.
That's a winner. Blessed be the fruit. We've been sent good weather.
You'll be on the street, somebody will be, blessed be the fruit.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine bigger stars than her that have catchphrases or lines from shows that have to deal with that.
All the time. And then I guess when she was on with him, she revealed she was pregnant with her first child. He kind of broached the subject. He's like, are you pregnant or just incredibly committed method actor? Here's what she had to say, laughing.
Your first?
Yes, my first.
Wow. How are you feeling?
Not bad, actually. I've been really lucky. It's been going really well.
What actor would have the worst time? Think about it. What she had is not that bad. Like someone like Gary Coleman, like someone yelling, "What you talking about, Willis?" at you all the time.
Think about that. We should think about a bunch of catchphrases from a lot of these people, especially from older sitcoms.
I mean, their lives are defined by it. It's got to be horrible.
I know one of the shows that sort of reunited recently on the Emmys. Remember all the classic shows that reunited?
Yes.
One was Cheers.
Yes.
Ted Danson told Entertainment Tonight that the Cheers gang is not reuniting on the small screen.
I was never a big Cheers person.
Really? I love that show. It was just sort of a comfort food.
But on the heels of that, the one I thought was interesting out of all the post-Emmys was Ally McBeal.
Yes.
who seemed like the talk had been happening, but she didn't want to really say. I would watch that.
Ally McBeal is a great
I
show.
loved that show.
Remember that show 30-something? I used to love that too.
Well, and our buddy, who I said yesterday never does interviews, was on the Today Show, Larry David, and they asked him about, hey, is this Seinfeld, all this? He's like, no, ain't happening. And I believe it from him.
I believe that too. So much talk about Margot Robbie not getting nominated, Greta Gerwig not getting nominated for an Oscar. Margot Robbie is finally talking about this. Quote, there's no way to feel sad when you know you're this blessed. Obviously, I think Greta Gerwig should be nominated as a director, but what she did is a once-in-a-lifetime career, once-in-a-lifetime thing, but it's been an incredible year for all of the films. And then she went on and on, but just saying that she was grateful, and I thought that was the perfect way to sort of end what everyone is just so upset about. So way to go, Margot Robbie. Barbie. That is your Celebrity Sleaze.